Ever feel like you're just rushing from one thing to the next? Never a moment to just breathe and appreciate, you know?
Oh, tell me about it.
Well, stick with us today because this deep dive might be just what you need.
Yeah, we're going deep on this one.
We're tackling Søren Kierkegaard, specifically his two Upbuilding Discourses.
Published way back in 1843, May 16th to be exact.
And unlike a lot of his other writings, he actually used his real name on these.
Which is interesting, right? Because he was known for pseudonyms.
Exactly. So these discourses, they're a bit different from some of his heavier philosophical stuff.
A little lighter, yeah. More focused on, I guess you'd say, practical application.
Yeah, upbuilding is the word he used. We're talking themes like gratitude, humility, love, even forgiveness.
And how those ideas, even though they're, almost 200 years old now, they still offer some really powerful guidance for living a good life.
Especially in today's world.
Yeah.
But okay, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's lay it out.
The basics.
Right. So we've got these two discourses, and the titles themselves are kind of mind-blowing.
I love the titles. Very Kierkegaard.
The first one is Every Good Gift and Every Perfect Gift is from Above.
And the second, equally thought-provoking, Love will hide a multitude of sins.
Whoa. When you hear those titles, what comes to mind for you?
Well, I think Kierkegaard is really brilliant at packing so much meaning into just a few words.
He was a master of that.
He really makes you stop and think, re-examine your assumptions. For example, with that first discourse, every good and perfect gift.
It makes you wonder where those gifts are actually coming from.
Yeah. Are we entitled to the good things in life, or are they gifts?
That is a huge shift in thinking.
It is. And it really gets at the heart of gratitude, doesn't it?
So how do we actually cultivate that kind of gratitude? Did Kierkegaard give us any techniques or anything?
Well, he definitely talks about the importance of focusing on the simple joys in life, the things we often take for granted.
Give me an example.
Like the feeling of the sun on your skin, or a good cup of coffee in the morning, or hearing someone you love laugh.
See, those are the things that we just kind of expect to be there.
Right, but when you start consciously appreciating them as gifts...
That's how I see. It changes your whole outlook.
Exactly. It's about recognizing those little blessings, and through that, connecting to something bigger than ourselves.
To the eternal, as he calls it.
To the eternal. And I think that's what he means by the leap of faith. Trusting that there's a purpose, a source for all the good in our lives.
Okay, that's beautiful. I love that. But let's move on to the second discourse. Love will hide a multitude of sins. That is a Hey AVY title.
It is, and it can be easily misinterpreted.
I was going to say, are we just supposed to ignore when people do bad things?
No, not at all. I think it's crucial to understand that Kierkegaard isn't condoning bad behavior.
Okay, good. That would be a problem.
He's talking about the power of forgiveness, not just overlooking wrongs, but actively choosing to cover them with love.
So it's more like, how do I put it? It's like a higher level of love, right?
Absolutely. Like divine love, understanding that everyone makes mistakes, and focusing on healing and reconciliation rather than punishment.
That makes a lot of sense. But forgiveness, it can be really hard, especially in today's world where everyone's so quick to judge.
It is hard, but think about it this way. Holding on to anger and resentment, it hurts you more than anyone else.
Isn't there that saying, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die?
Exactly. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself. It's about recognizing the inherent worth of everyone, even when they mess up.
So how do we practically apply that in our own lives? I mean,
Yeah.
We're not saints. We all make mistakes. We all get hurt by others.
It starts with those everyday relationships. Think about a time when you were hurt by someone you care about, a friend, a family member.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
We all have. Instead of dwelling on the anger, what if you tried to approach that situation with forgiveness?
It's easier said than done, though, right?
For sure. But it's about taking that first step. And remember, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or condoning. It's about choosing to let go of the negativity and opening yourself up to the possibility of healing.
Okay. I'm starting to get it. It's like changing your whole mindset.
It is. And it's incredible how these ideas from Kierkegaard from so long ago are so relevant to our lives today.
Especially with all the negativity we're constantly bombarded with. Online, in the news.
It's everywhere. And it's so easy to get caught up in that cycle of judgment and blame.
But Kierkegaard offers us a different way.
He does. He reminds us to be grateful for the good things, even the small ones, to choose forgiveness over resentment, and to see the divine spark in everyone, ourselves included.
It's like he's giving us a roadmap for how to be better humans.
I think so, and I
Yeah.
think that's why his work continues to resonate with people centuries later.
So for everyone listening, I want you to think about this.
Yeah.
How can you apply these principles in your own life? How can you cultivate more compassion and understanding for yourself and for others?
It's a good question to ask ourselves.
It really is. We've covered a lot today, but to recap, I think the biggest takeaways are:
Well, for me, it's the power of gratitude. When we recognize that all the good in our lives is a gift.
it makes us more humble, right?
It does, and it opens us up to a deeper appreciation for everything and everyone around us.
And then there's forgiveness. That's a tough one, but
It's essential. It's the key to breaking free from anger and resentment. It's about choosing love, even when it's hard.
powerful stuff.
Oh,
Any final thoughts for our listeners as they, go back to their busy lives?
I would just ask them to consider this. What if we all truly believed that every good gift comes from above? How would that change our interactions, our communities, our world?
That's something to ponder.
It is.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into Kierkegaard. Until next time,